All right, so for today's lesson, we're going to be looking at solving one variable equations. Now, we've done a lot of solving equations already this year, and it's a big part of high school math. So I don't want to break it down into its most basic components, but rather I want to look at some really specific types of solving equation problems that I find students get a lot of mistakes on. So we're going to break this down into each type. So let's look at this first type. If x plus x plus x plus 4x minus 7 equals x minus 1, what is the value of x? A lot of students just try to rush a problem like this and end up making a mistake by rushing. So the first thing we need to do, just like anytime you have a bunch of variables with the same variable, you need to combine like terms. So that's the first step. See if you can combine like terms. See what you get. See if you get the same thing I get. Well, we only have one variable, so that makes combining like terms pretty simple. We have an x, an x, an x, and a 4x. And what I see a lot of people do is combine this term, but this is on the other side of the equation. You can't combine like terms on the other side of the equation. It's got to be on the same side. So x plus x plus x plus 4x, well, how many x's? 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be 7x. Okay, so those are all done. What do we have left? Well, we still have the minus 7. And then we just pull down everything else, x minus 1. Okay, so after we've combined like terms, now we still have x's on both sides of the equation. So the trick is, how do I get one of these x's to be equal to 0? How could I zero out one of these? Well, if you have an x, if you subtract x, that would be 0, right? That would effectively get rid of this x. Same thing you could do, 7x minus 7x would also get rid of that. I like to pick the smaller number, and the smaller number would definitely be this x. So I think subtracting x to both sides would be the best first move, because x minus x will be 0. You'll be left with negative 1 over here. So I'm going to do that in blue. And where that x combines to, well, it's with the 7x. So we have 7x minus x would be 6x. So 6x minus 7 equals negative 1. Okay, now we're down to our basic two-step equation. See if you can solve this with the next two steps and see what you get. Cool. I think most of us saw the first thing we need to do is add 7. Remember, if you have addition or subtraction over here, the first thing you need to do is get rid of the addition or subtraction. Negative 7 plus 7, again, gives me 0. It cancels it out. So we have negative 1 plus 7. Well, that equals 6. And we're still left with 6x. My final step, most of us probably saw, we need to divide by 6 on both sides because it's 6 times x. So opposite of multiplication is division. 6 divided by 6 is 1. And that effectively cancels that out. 6 divided by 6, same thing. Over here, it's 1. We'll write that over here, equals, you could write 1x, but that's not necessary. We just have x because 1x and x are the same thing. So we're left with x equals 1. And for this one, I asked, what is the value of x? Well, we found the value of x. Boom, done.